Hi Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your December 1st to the 15th, 2021 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Libra, December 1st to the 15th, 2021, Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Angels and spirit guides, there we go. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Oh, goodness, okay. Angels and spirit guides. I love it, the heart just knows what it wants. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. At our root, we have the Fool, and we have the Moon, which is Pisces energy. We are going on this journey, and yet we fear a lot of what we're going to be facing during this time, and a lot of what we're going to be discovering. So that's going to be something that kind of we war against here. It's not going to be a bad thing at all. It's actually going to be a sense of I'm understanding my fears, and I'm understanding what isn't holding me back anymore. It leads us then to the Nine of Pentacles in our inner self and the Devil, which is Capricorn energy. So if we have Pisces energy in our natal chart or in our lives, they're coming through very strongly at our root, meaning this part of our personality comes out as like a base power for our personality during this time. And if these people are in our lives, they have a way of affecting us more than we realize. Just like with Capricorn energy, if we have these people in our lives, they affect us inwardly. We find ourselves thinking about them or wondering about them, or however we want to word it. And then if we have this in our inner selves, if we have this in our natal chart, it comes through in our inner selves, the way that we're looking at things, the way that we're kind of organizing things and seeing things within our own minds. Then we have our heart. We have Scorpio energy. So if we're born on the cusp with Scorpio, or again, if we have Scorpio within our natal chart or within our lives, they come through emotionally for us. And the Ten of Wands. We then have the public arena, the Two of Pentacles. We're balancing too much. And the Five of Cups. This is change your mind, change your life. It's like we start to see things differently, and then all of a sudden there's beauty to life again, whereas before it didn't seem to have the same beauty, the same radiance that it does now. So just be aware of this, where there's the sense of becoming during this time. We are stepping into power and intensity and brilliance. So let's look at our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. We have family, which is the root chakra. We are driven to love. We are driven to connect. This is family that we were born into, family that raised us, family that loves us, family that we created. It can even be our past life family, our way of connecting with ourselves throughout the ages, and the sense of just connecting with our roots and our souls and ourselves. This will manifest differently for each and every one of us, but it's still going to be astoundingly powerful. It's embracing our roots. And then we have the energy we need to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is the Chariot. This is Cancer energy. This is emotions getting away with us, just kind of charging forward without really thinking things through. We have to be mindful of this with ourselves. We also have to be mindful of just falling into the snare of this. It's like the emotions become bigger than we are, and this becomes a constant like chaos and drama. It's like watching a telenovela, just something so extreme all the time, and it becoming our whole entire world. So just be mindful of this right here. So let's look at this astrologically. So astrologically, on the 1st of November, we have Neptune going direct, which impacts us more because we have Pisces energy here at our root, and Pisces is ruled by Neptune. So with Neptune going direct, coming out of retrograde, this draws to a close a time of spiritual and physical transformation. So we really feel this. We really feel as if we're stepping out of a time where we didn't really have our sea legs, like we really didn't have our balance, which has brought us into a greater connection with our hidden spiritual gifts. It's like because we didn't have our sea legs, because we felt out of balance, we became more connected with our spiritual and gifted side. We became more connected with who we are and where we're moving and what we want from our lives and how we're developing. Now, on the 4th of December, Mercury is opposite Lilith. Now, this is a time of miscommunication, of frustration. It is a time of feeling unseen and unheard, and it just is a frustrating time for us. So we just have to be aware of it. It's a frustrating time for everybody with Mercury opposite Lilith. But what we're going to need to be here is honest with ourselves and really see ourselves for what we want to be in our lives, not what others define us as. So that's going to be something that is challenging, that we really kind of fight against during this time. Also, on the 4th of December, we have the new moon and a solar eclipse, which will be discussed in a later video. On the 6th of December, Mars is sextile Pluto. Now, this is a time of tremendous drive and determination because we have Scorpio energy here, all right? We are more drawn to Pluto and also Mars energy. Scorpio was originally ruled by Mars before the finding of Pluto, and then Pluto was kicked out. So, it's a little bit messy. So here we have this powerful energy coming forward, and the 6th of December really hits us in the heart, more so than other days. We are tremendously driven and determined. This makes us very capable of achieving our goals, but it also makes us very disconnected. Everybody's going to just feel a little bit disconnected. We want to go our own way. We want to do our own thing. Nobody wants to be told what to do. Nobody wants to follow directions. So just be aware of this. This is a time where everybody feels like they have the biggest ideas, the biggest goals. They are the biggest fish in the sea, or at least they're really, really trying to be. And that's what they are determined to embrace and become. And we need to approach this day with confidence, but also with compassion and a sense that nothing is perfect. So why am I trying so desperately to make it so? On the 7th of December, Mercury is squared Neptune, again coming through very powerfully at our root because of the Pluto influence here. So because of the Neptune influence here with Pisces, this is a time where it feels like the normal world is just off. We are going to be more in a dream state, more in a creative state, more in a discovery state. And this is a time to connect beautifully spiritually, but also creatively. So if we want to meditate on this day or journal, this is a time where we'll really find some really great ideas coming forward, because the practical world just seems a bit out of touch. We can be a little bit jumbled on this day when communicating. So our communications are going to be jumbled. They are going to be a little bit more intense. They are going to be a little bit like harder to work everything out than they were before. So just be aware of this. On the 8th of December, we have Mars squared Jupiter. Now, this is a time where we are aligned with positivity, where we have this beautiful creative energy coming forward. We are enthusiastic, we are strong, we are courageous, we are sensual, and we really want to embrace this energy here at Libra. This is what we live for. We need to make sure that we are aligned with ourselves and the energy of what we want, of where we're going. If we don't create a physical or creative outlet, we can feel overwhelmed with all the energy that's coming into us, all the power of this alignment. And because we feel this more strongly within our heart, that's going to be something that's very powerful for us here. We just feel it very strongly emotionally. Now, on the 11th of December, we have Mercury sextile Jupiter. Now, this is a time of questioning and curiosity. We also have a couple of things going on here on the 11th of December. So with the Mercury sextile Jupiter, we're questioning, we're curious. We have this open mind, a non-judgmental attitude in space for today. We want to acquire knowledge. We want to see, we want to learn, we want to explore. This is also a time for travel. Mercury rules short travels, Jupiter rules longer travels. So we want to explore and we want to question. This is a day of discovery, and that's going to be really powerful for us. Also on the 11th of December, we have Venus conjunct Pluto. Now, this is important because we're ruled by Venus, Libra, and we also have the power of Pluto coming forward here with the Scorpio energy. So this hits us naturally in the heart. This brings love and karmic love to the forefront of our day. We have to be aware of our hearts and our heart chakras. If we're not aware of our hearts, we almost feel like the day is wasted. We need to also look at any turmoil, any undealt with issues or scars that are coming up that we've buried down, because if we don't, they come up. They come up and they knock us off our game. But if we look at this day with love, we can actually find that the Venus conjunct Pluto works beautifully with the Mercury sextile Jupiter, and we can start to explore, we can start to question, we can start to really see things. And coming from a loving, non-judgmental space will be really beautiful. Now, on the 12th of December, we have the Sun squared Neptune. This hits us strongly at our rooted self, so we can feel maybe a little bit off balance whenever Neptune comes into play. We are being forced to see and call out our own weaknesses, which can be uncomfortable. But we're also being forced here to see ourselves and our own worth, to stand in ourselves, to stand for ourselves, and to love ourselves, and to have this beautiful connection. Today is a day where we find our voice, even if we're shaking on the inside, even if we think, oh my gosh, I can't possibly be, this confident or this bold or this, tremendous as I move forward. Spirit is saying, yes, we can. We are astoundingly sensitive and caring today. So make sure that sensitivity and that caring is also reflected on ourselves, that we take time for self-care, for self-love, but we also take time to connect, just to connect with the people around us and just to truly see, because we're going to find here that we're a little bit more timid than we really need to be. The 13th of December has a few things happening. So we have Mercury entering into Capricorn, which hits us on an personal level in our inner selves, because we have the Capricorn energy here coming through. This makes us astoundingly methodical in our thinking and in the way that we want to perceive the world. Everything has its place. If we are organizers, if we are people who like notebooks and notes, this is a time where we're going to just be going at it, just like diving deeper into trying to organize everything. It can actually drive us a bit batty and make people around us crazy. So just be aware of that. And everybody's going to have this, no, not everybody's going to hit this as hard as we are, like as hard as we're going to think, okay, I can just kind of get everything all organized and perfect. What we're going to see here is that everybody has their own way of organization. Some people will be organized in just complete and utter chaos, and others will be more like us at this time and really just like things in a tidy, neat space. So just be aware of this, that we can really get on each other's nerves with the way that we organize and trying to get other people to organize like we do. So just be aware of that. Where it's almost going to be a time where there's no room for laughter, where there's no room for jokes. And that's not what we need. That is not what we need at all. So it's looking at things, it's taking things seriously, yes, but not taking things too seriously. It's stepping back and entering into our hearts. We're ruled by Venus. Our hearts are a really good place for us to be. This is not a time just simply for logic. This is a time where logic and the heart can come together. And we have to remember to speak kindly and with compassion, because a lot of people are going to be forgetting this on this day. Yeah, and a lot of people are going to be a bit harsh with their words, which can make those of us who are more sensitive really feel like today everybody's ganging up on us. So just be aware of that. On the 13th of December, Mars enters into Sagittarius. So this is also on the 13th of December. And this brings a maddening duality. There's the fun-loving side of this alignment, the fire, the excitement, the tenacity, but there's also the aggressive side of this alignment with two fire elements coming forward. And what we're going to see here is that we need to really find a physical or spiritual outlet for all this energy that's coming in us. If we don't, it almost feels like we are overwhelmed by the energy that is bursting within us, about everything that's going on inside. This can also be a time where our follow through isn't really that great, which can be really frustrating because we're trying to organize everything with the Mercury entering into Capricorn aspect of things, and then with the Mars entering into Sagittarius, it kind of makes everything a fiery mess. It can, if we don't harness that energy. So just be aware of that. It can be a frustrating day. On the 14th of December, Mars is opposite the North Node. Now, this is a time when the intensity of Mars needs to be tempered by the conscious peace of the North Node. Now, Mars has us looking for action and doing, while the North Node brings with it a sense of bringing to the surface the motivations to work out our karmic debt and our spiritual debt. This can be amazingly powerful. This could be a time where we start to find balance within ourselves, where we start to balance listening and doing, watching and understanding. We really start to balance all the dualities within our world and all the sense of, kind of stepping into our own. So it can be astoundingly powerful. Just remember that it can also be a little bit frustrating because one side wants peace and the other side wants action. And so we need to marry those two together. We really do. We need to harmonize it. Now we have the Fool coming in, and the Fool is telling us that it's time to go on an adventure, and that's really what we want. So when we have this sense with Mercury sextile Jupiter, the sense of adventure coming forward, we need to take it. We need to take it on the 11th of December. And as we step into, with Venus conjunct Pluto, step into romance and love and just letting our heart chakra guide us, it's on the 11th of December. This is going to be a powerful time. So circle that within our calendar and know that here we need an adventure. We just do with the Fool. We need to explore. We need to expand. We need to understand. And this is a time where we're going to be really worried about what other people think of us. We have that Mercury opposite Lilith energy coming in at the beginning of the month. And we think, well, what does everybody else say? I am. That has to be what I am. And Spirit's saying here, no. Everybody is considered a fool before they achieve, before they succeed. Everybody's thought of as, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe you did this. Every hero is considered a fool. Every entrepreneur is considered a fool before they prove their worth. And that's just how human beings are. That's just kind of how life works. And so here, we're embracing that Fool moment. We're also embracing being able to see things that other people aren't seeing. Being able to say things that people aren't saying. It doesn't mean that we say it out loud. It can be that we say it to ourselves. It's like, you know what, this isn't working for me anymore. Or you know what, that isn't what I want. And that never was what I wanted. I was just trying to fit in. I was just trying to conform. And Spirit is saying here, why fit in when you can stand out? And then we have the Moon coming in. So as we're going on this journey, as we're moving ourselves forward, we're facing a lot of the fears that we have, a lot of the things that say, oh no, you couldn't possibly. And we're saying, why? Why can't I? Why can't I embrace what I want within my life? Why can't I move forward towards more? Why can't I? And so here with the Moon, we're starting to see dreams come forward. We're starting to see the monsters in the shadows for what they truly are. And they're just simply shadows and bushes. They're just simply things that our mind is making bigger than what they actually are. And we're starting to step into ourselves. we're acknowledging our fears, where we feel overwhelmed, where we feel understimulated, where we feel as if our life isn't living up to the potential that we want. We're looking at this all very openly, very honestly, and very seriously as we see ourselves move towards what we want within our lives and where it is that we want to be. The moon also is telling us we're going to get some really great ideas at night. At night, before we go to sleep at night, or when we're getting ready for bed, or just in the quiet when we're having a cup of tea, just to be able to connect with our minds and our kind of subconscious self coming forward. We're going to see things in a different way. We're also going to see things in a really beautiful way. So keep a little notebook by you, keep your phone by you to talk in ideas that come your way, because it's going to open up doors. It's going to lead us in a different direction. And it brings us to the Nine of Pentacles. This time is a time to celebrate what we have achieved, even if it doesn't feel like a time to celebrate, even if it feels like I have so much more to do. Like, what are you talking about? The Nine of Pentacles is saying, yes, there's more to do, and there will always be more to do. But this is the prosperity of who we are, and what we're achieving, and how we're moving forward. This is a sense of a job well done. And when we have a job well done, we need to take time to honor that instead of just pushing forward and thinking, yeah, well, that was expected, because that doesn't boost morale. That doesn't help us have the energy to keep on moving forward. And as we are celebrating what we have achieved, as we're celebrating where we stand, not right now, not where we'll stand in however long in the future, or where we stood in the past, but where we stand right now, we're also starting to look at the addictions that we have that keep us chained to a world that we don't want to be in. Now, it doesn't mean that we don't want to be in the world at all. What it means is that we're starting to see things in a new light and in a new way. With the devil coming in, these are the chains that hold us. Societal change, what we thought success was, how we thought we were supposed to be, what people told us we were supposed to be, what people told us success was. And now we're starting to see ourselves for ourselves. We're also starting to look at the things that are destroying us, that are robbing away and leeching away our happiness. Now, it can be addictions like drugs and alcohol and shopping and, food and whatever it is else is, that comes in. People can say, oh, okay, that's an addiction. Like, I can see it on you. I get it. But it can also be addictions that people think are totally healthy and we get praised for. What if we work out to a point that if we don't work out that day, we have anxiety. We feel completely overwhelmed. I need to be on this regimen. I need to be strict with my body. I need to have this moving me forward. That becomes an addiction that rules our life. If we eat so clean, so healthy, that people are amazed at us and go, oh, wow, you eat so good. I couldn't possibly eat that well. That becomes an addiction. If that becomes our identity, whatever takes over our identity, whatever takes over us, anxiety, fear, not being able to step forward on this journey that spirit is telling us to go on, whatever it is that's holding us back, that's what we're fighting against during this time. And that's what we're starting to see. I don't want to be chained here. I don't want to be chained to this. I don't need this. We can find ourselves walking in a direction that we might never have thought we'd walk, in a way and in a place forward that we never thought we'd be. But we start to find ourselves more and more. This can be going off the beaten track. This can be really starting to listen to what we want in life and connecting. And as we do so, our heart is having a transformation. This is the dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new. Spirit is leading us forward. We are being transformed. And as we are being transformed, we're seeing ourselves more openly and more honestly than we have before. We can't even be mourning the person who we were with the person we are now, meaning that we could have thought that life would go differently. We could have thought we'd be in a different place. But as we start to honor the path that we've been on, and the transformation of strength and of power that has brought us to this place, we start to honor and see ourselves more and more. We start to align with ourselves better. And as we align with ourselves with honesty and integrity and tenaciousness, we look at the burdens that we've been carrying. We look at everything that we've piled upon our backs, Libra, and we say, you know what? No, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done carrying everything for everybody else. I'm done with the endless worry and the endless fear. I'm done with not giving myself time to breathe because everything just has to be perfect. And we let those burdens fall. And we let ourselves look up and see more than just the dirt on our shoes. We get to see the sun. We get to see the sky. We get to see the expanse of the world before us, and the beauty of the seasons, and the beauty of the changing of our lives and what we're stepping into. And it's almost like we're set free. We come to the end of a cycle emotionally when it comes to our passion, when it comes to the way that we're moving forward. We had ourselves wrapped up in something that just wasn't working out. It just wasn't right for us. And now, as we're stepping into who we are and who we need to be, we step into this place in the public arena where we start to find balance, where we start to find harmony. And this is because we're not trying to do everything for everybody else. We're starting to find our own footing. Spirit is saying, be grounded first before we take on the whole entire world. We're looking at everything that we're juggling. We're looking at everything that we have to do. And we're starting to see ourselves losing what's really important to us, losing ourselves and trying to be everything for everybody else. And what Spirit is saying here, Libra, is balance you, see you, connect with you. And that becomes the power point. And that moves us to the Five of Cups. That moves us to changing our lives and changing our minds and changing our whole entire lives, changing the way that we're looking at things, changing what we're seeing, and calling forward such power and such prosperity that it changes the game. Not only looking at our failures, not only looking at where we should have done better, what we could have done better, but looking at how we move ourselves forward and where it is that we want to be within our lives, within our souls, within ourselves. There's a peace that's coming over us. There's a healing that's coming forward that has been long awaited. And as it moves us and as it guides us and as it leads us, we celebrate it. And it celebrates us. And it's tremendous. It moves us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of. And that is the Hierophant. That is tradition. That's saying it has to be like this and no other way. Spirit is saying here, no. Be free with your mind. Be free with your interpretation. Be free with the tradition that is yourself. Stick to the truth that is you. But don't bend yourself, into a pretzel, to make yourself fit in to what everybody else wants and needs. It moves us to our subconscious chakra energy, which is self-mastery. This is the solar plexus chakra. This is an alignment with ourselves because we're following our gut. We're hearing our soul. We're aligning with who we are and what we need from our lives. It moves us to our subconscious rooted self. And that's the Hierophant. The Hierophant comes through as an energy to be mindful of, but it's also the energy that grounds us here. The Taurus energy hits us very powerfully at our root, at the base of ourselves. We start to see ourselves looking at things differently. We're holding the keys to our own heaven, to our own bliss. And we're starting to look at our traditions, what we desire within life, how we want to move forward within our soul and ourselves. That's changing the game. It moves us to our subconscious inner self. And that is the Four of Wands. It's very interesting. The Hierophant is also the major arcana marriage card, and the Four of Wands is the minor arcana marriage card. So we're looking at what are we committed to? Not who we are committed to, but what are we committed to within our lives? This is celebration. This is new opportunities coming forward. This is change in our lives for the better. This could be a new job. This could be moving house. This is also just a celebration of life itself. Our subconscious emotional self is the Emperor. This is Aries energy. This is our sister sign. So just as sisters, it builds us up. It moves us forward in a way and cheerleaders us in a way that nobody else can. But it can also annoy the heck out of us like nobody else can. Our heart is telling us to claim our throne, to claim our power, to move forward in our tenacity and our success, and not look back, and not worry what everybody else is thinking. It brings us to our subconscious public arena self, and that's justice. That's us, Libra. I love it that we have almost all major arcana cards here subconsciously. Our subconscious is so hard at work, we don't even realize it. This is us stepping into the essence of ourselves in the public arena. We're finding our balance and our footing. We're changing our minds and changing our lives. We're looking at our successes instead of always at our failures. And we are finding ourselves being discerning with the energy that we let in, with the blessings that get to be a part of our lives, with the way that we move forward towards our goals and towards our dreams. We are embracing our souls and ourselves, and it's about time. All right, Libra. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity of this time. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Libra.